घबराता नहीं, कोई सागर दिल को बहलाता नहीं। ओ मेरे दिल के चैन आए मेरे दिल को दुआ कीजिए।
My name is Dr. Prabhakar Kelkar. I was born in a small village in the Raigad district called Vavoshi. We were living in Dadar right from 1938 onwards. My parents come from a middle class or low middle class family. I was for up to 7th standard. I was educated in Marathi, that too in a municipal school. But you know, I was good in studies, good. My father was a classical musician, I was good in music, and I used to normally come first in the class. So I said, I won't pursue music as a career, but I will continue to study well. And so after 7th standard, I joined Chabildas Lalubai Boys High School. There I did very well again, and I passed out with distinction in SSC. That time distinction itself was a great thing to achieve. I joined Parle College because I got a scholarship. I passed out Bachelor of Science examination with the rank, university rank, 4th rank in the university, and was first to get admitted to University Department of Chemical Technology, UDCT, in 1967. I got my B.Sc Tech in Pharmaceuticals and Fine Chemicals in 1970, and continued to do Masters in Science and Technology in UDCT. That I finished by 72 July, which was 2.5 years, partly by papers, partly by research, and there I got distinction. I was first with distinction. I decided to go to do a doctorate at a place which has fantastic facilities. No, because any doctorate degree without facilities is not really good enough to stand in competition, especially when you want to work in industry. Day one, I had a dream of working for the industry. I never thought of, because the one thing which my director asked me in Lucknow, where I did my doctorate, Central Drug Research Institute, Lucknow. He asked me, what do you want to do after PhD? I said, I want to go and work in industry. So it was my first day reply to him. So I had excellent training. I had more than 12 papers published in Indian Journal of Chemistry, Indian Journal of Pharmaceutical Sciences, and those kind of papers. I went and presented papers at several science convocations, scientific meetings. Got one patent also for my work on anti-fertility agents. So I did my doctorate in anti-fertility agent and psychotropic agents. Synthesized more than 100 new compounds which were not known in the scientific community that time. Imperial Chemical Industry, Rishra, Calcutta, in rubber chemicals division. At the same time, I got an offer in Ciba-Geigy, a multinational pharmaceutical company in Mumbai. So I took Mumbai because they are having similar facilities and similar position and similar salary. So no point in going to Calcutta. I had already gone to Lucknow and stayed there for 5 years, understood North Indian culture completely well, did my the studies were very good. Scientists, there were about 200 scientists working in CDI Lucknow. So it was a great opportunity for me to learn. And then I came to Bombay, worked in Ciba-Geigy. I did excellent job, 2.5 years I worked in Ciba-Geigy. But that was a Swiss company where the growth is very slow. I did change my first job and became the R&D manager in Hoffmann La Roche, R&D executive in Hoffmann La Roche, and in Balcom here. So I worked in Roche for 2.5 years. It's a multinational pharmaceutical company again, and with highest quality standards and top class processes. We developed a lot of drugs and intermediates and pharmaceuticals. and many of my processes which I developed in Roche are followed worldwide in France, in USA, in Turkey, etc. So that was a great learning opportunity, and that gave me break as a technical services manager in Johnson Johnson here in Mulund in 1982 October, where I had my own cabin, I had my secretary, and I was occupying the office of managing director of Johnson Johnson. I mean, the person who started J&J in India. So it was a great honor for me. I worked in a medical division in Johnson Johnson as a research and quality assurance manager, to begin with technical services manager, but I became immediately next year research and quality assurance manager. We are about 40-45 people reporting to me, and I worked there for 10 years, right from 1982 to 1991, and between that our company selected Aurangabad as a venue for new plant, and I was instrumental in establishing that new plant. I visited Aurangabad at least 100 times in 3 years from 1988 to 91, and we had opportunity to work with the people, facility planning and construction people in USA, how they think while designing the plants. I got the approval of the Food and Drug Administration to start the plant in Aurangabad. I lived in Aurangabad for 1 year. I mean, I was 3 years, I was traveling to Aurangabad up and down, and then lived there for 1 year, and really enjoyed that place as well. It's a great place to be, and of course, compared to what it was, now it is well developed. I mean, in my time, even to get an omelette or cup of tea, I used to travel 3 kilometers. Now every corner there is a restaurant or 3-star hotel. So, but that was 91, 92. In 92, I was appointed back in Mumbai as a corporate manager for health and safety, and I was instrumental for maintaining worldwide J&J worldwide standards of 16 locations in India, which included 708 locations in Mumbai, but also Delhi, Calcutta, Chennai, and Bombay, of course, and then warehouses, all these places, not only office locations but the warehouses included. So about 16 locations, and then later on even the CNFE agents locations were also added to maintain the safety standards, so that there are no accidents. And in J&J nobody likes accident, because if the accident is there, the managing director has to go to and make a report in USA. No MD wants to go to make a report on accident. They would like to report more sales but not accident. So I was instrumental, and then that time I joined the Bombay Chamber of Commerce and Industry as a chairman, as a co-chairman of a safety and health and environment committee. So I had exposure to number of industries in the city of Mumbai and what they were doing in the area of safety, health, environment. I mean, at one point time I was expert and also appointed by Master Safety Council as their member, honorary member for the managing safety programs in Maharashtra. Then in 94, I was then appointed as the corporate quality corporate TQM, total quality management manager, corporate management TQM, where I was supposed to assess the various companies, including J&J India, on the model of Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award for business performance of these companies. I was supposed to assess business performance of these companies on the basis of Malcolm Baldrige Quality Award, and study their application, go and evaluate, visit the plant locations, take the interviews of people, etc. That's all very fine. And so I was actually examiner for J&J Hong Kong. Then I was a team leader for J&J Medical Malaysia, and we evaluated those companies, business performance of those companies, and awarded them certain levels of award, which are basically commitment level award, bronze level award, silver level, and gold level. There are 4 levels of award. It was a great learning experience to know how the companies in other countries also perform. I mean, just not good enough to know what you are doing, but also have to know what, because it's, the whole world is about benchmarking, and everything. Our main focus was import substitution. So today what we get, if everything free, verily imported in our country, is only because people like us worked on import substitution of various packaging materials, raw materials, intermediates. We worked on that and we got local industries developed to make those products for us now, which we don't have to import anymore. So there's a great contribution to the development of our country. Now, of course, a lot of things, the world is an open market. You can purchase anything anywhere and sell anything anywhere and manufacture anything anywhere. So, but that was a time, and I had a great opportunity. At one point of time, I used to report entire R&D activity of J&J to the government as well, to the Department of Science and Technology in Delhi. Then I came back again to Johnson Johnson Medical, and we started a factory in Pondicherry, because I had luckily experience of making the sick factory into a good factory with acceptable quality, etc. So J&J Medical in Arlington, USA, they appointed me to look after their production in Pondicherry, where we made the catheter, IV intravenous catheters for use in India. And because India is a very cost sensitive market, and a product which used to be sell about 65-70 rupees, the hospitals wanted at 30-32 rupees. So we had naturally had to work hard to see that we are able to develop the products at a low cost, but it is meeting the same quality standards as they are in the imported products. Then in 2001, I was appointed as a regional manager, reporting to the vice president in Johnson Johnson Singapore. Johnson Johnson Singapore is actually Asia Pacific. All MDs report to there. So it's an Asia Pacific organization, and I used to report to as a regional manager for quality compliance of Johnson Johnson, the entire company. Johnson Johnson Medical per se, because we are also about now it is $45 billion company. Then so I used to visit. I must have visited all these countries about 350 times. Overseas visit, no? I have 7 passports. So tremendous travel, tremendous experience of the way the jobs are done in those companies, the way we talk to doctors, because doctors are our customers. The products which are made in medical division actually are used by doctors, nurses, doctors on the patients. So to talk to doctors, understand their key issues. If they face a problem in using our product, tell them what could go wrong, what you can do to ensure that things don't go wrong. And this I did for entire Asia Pacific, including China, including Korea. I mean, imagine visit to all these countries for meeting doctors there, top class doctors is somebody, you cannot fool them. You cannot tell them that you are wrong. I mean, no doctor will accept ever that he is wrong. So to tell doctor that something may go wrong with this technique and not just with the products, something of course can go wrong with the products. The way the product is described on label. So labeling is a big issue in use of medical devices. So it can go wrong, but by and large is to be not much problem with the quality, but is to be a problem the way the products are stored or handled. And at one point of time, I remember there was a product like Cypher, which was the first drug-eluting stent. Now everybody goes for angioplasty and puts 2-3 stents inside the body. What they say nowadays, the ornaments are inside the body and not outside, because all these stents cost almost a lakh of rupees. So these stents are inside the body, and I was the first one to write a marketing communication for Cypher even in US. Because I realized I was a scientist, so I know how to write, and I have a couple of patents as well. So I said how to write a scientific communication which will be understood by the doctor as well as by the salesman. Medical division, we have 7 main verticals. We make lakhs and lakhs of products, including joints, a company called Depu, Ethicon Endosurgery company, a company for staplers and cutters, all mechanical, endomechanical as they call. Then self-monitoring blood glucose meters, for knowing the sugar level inside your body, and then ensuring that you don't take extra sugar, or sometimes no, both hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia are bad. So you have to know when to take, we have to know when not to take. So the management of diabetes is very, particularly type 2 diabetes, very critical issue. Type 1 of course is very serious, but type 2, which is very common, and India is a capital of diabetes, as you know. I learned that, and whenever things go wrong, we recall the products from the market. If there is adverse reaction of our products, we go and meet the doctors, or those are the kind of things I really handled and handled well. Then we had another product line called surgical sutures, where J&J enjoys 80% worldwide market share for last 50-60 years. And then we have another franchise called the Advanced Sterilization Products, ASP, that we make sterilizers and Sidex and disinfectant solutions, etc. So all these products, I really learned a lot about lots of products, how they are made, what are the tricky things in making, using and disposing them. My role in regional, as I said, I mentioned China. I used to go very often to China, a place called Shenzhen, which is very popular, everybody knows now. Very highly productive area. And we had a supplier from Taiwan who used to, together we used to meet in Hong Kong, take a ferry to Shenzhen, and that time there was no direct flight. I mean, you can go to Shanghai by direct flight. So you have to go either via Bangkok or something like that. So, but we used to go this way to Shenzhen. There was a passport control at the when we arrived in a ship there, but Shenzhen was a fantastic place. In my life, first time I have seen. I mean, big industries. Sometimes we feel they only live in ivory towers and don't bother about the workers. But this man, the head of Master and Frank company in Taiwan, who used to travel with me, they had a factory in Shenzhen. And they used to make surgical gloves, then aprons and caps, whatever is needed for the surgery they used to make there. It was a fantastic factory, and he used to drop us in 5-star hotel in Shenzhen, but he himself will go and stay with workers, the owner of the company. I mean, that culture is something fantastic. I don't think even Tata will do it here. I mean, even the big industries will find difficult to do it here. The culture of a industry is in Shenzhen. And that's why they are ruling the world today. They are fantastic. As I said, they are 3 times productive compared to our normal worker. And the quality is fantastic. In China, I'll just tell you one example. When we imported one machine here in India, because we had big import restrictions in India. That's why we had ambassadors and Maruti and Fiats being used in India. The first car which I bought in my life in 1983 was a 62 model of Fiat. That means I bought after 21 years by paying 21,000. At that time, then 21,000 is to get 1-bedroom kitchen flat in Thane.